What's up, guys? Brandon here. I was just thinking about a topic that's going in my book, and what it's about is whether or not you love your partner or do you consume your partner for your self-worth. Sometimes love is disguised as this consumption thing. It's selfish, but it actually looks like it's love, but it's not really love. Let me explain. There's some ways in which we consume, and as I go through these, try to recognize the ones that you do. Maybe try to recognize the ones that your partner is doing with you. First, it's the codependent consumer, and that is the partner who always needs their partner to feel good. They get really uncomfortable when their spouse or their lover, their partner, is uncomfortable, and so they fix things. They avoid conflict. They just try to make sure that there's no discomfort there. That's not love. It's because they're not able to love that person when they're in a bad state, in a hard state. The next is the complier. The complier is the person that goes along with everything that the other person says. They don't have a backbone. They don't have their own opinion. They comply, and they're a complier, liar. That is, they're not honest in the relationship because they go along with everything just to make sure that the other person loves them, and they get their self-worth from that person loving them. So therefore, they can't tolerate the discomfort of conflict, and so they're not honest in a relationship. Okay. The next one is what I call the compulsive sex monger, and what that is the person who has to use the other person for sex in order to feel good enough about themselves. So they'll try really hard to have sex. When they do have sex, they'll try to please their partner a lot, or really feel desired, and they use sex to feel good enough. So their sexual connection is not about making love, it's about using the other person. There's the coercive controller, and that's the person who passive-aggressively feels good when they can control their partner and force them to go along with things. You pair a complier with a coercive controller, and you got big problems in a relationship. So they feel a sense of self-worth through being able to control. So they're using their partner for that. There's the conspicuous consumer. This is the person who uses their partner as a trophy. They comment a lot about their physical appearance. They objectify their partner and they show them off. There's a narcissistic feel to the conspicuous consumer. They're not really concerned about the feelings of the other person as much as they're concerned about the image that they have because of the other person. Okay. We got a few more of these. I'll keep going. We'll chop these up a little bit. There is the caring fixer. So that's the person who's always trying to fix everything and acts caring, but it looks selfless, but it's actually selfish because they get some sense of feel good from being able to fix all the problems for people. There's the complainer, and that's the person who plays the victim, sits back in resentment, complains and waits for their partner to validate them in order to feel okay. So they victim out all the time, and they hope that their partner is a caring fixer who will come and try to fix everything for them and give them validation, instead of them stepping into their own power and their own accountability in their lives. They wait for somebody else to validate them by playing the victim. And then there's the closer, and that's the person who's totally closed off, and they disconnect, but they feel some sense of power and control from their independence, and so they use that relationship to feel that. So you guys, these are just some roles that we play. We act like these things are, we feel like these things are good, healthy attachment, but in reality, these things are destroying real intimacy, real love, real authentic, vulnerable connection. So you guys, if you can think of any more, please list them below. and share with us. Thanks.